My name is AnnMarie Flynn. Good afternoon, good evening, good late morning for those that are perhaps the other side of the world. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Ching-Li. There needs to be a space in the world for people to talk about this. So today I am going to talk about the life cycle of a target, but from my perspective. And when I say my perspective, I'm a chemical engineer, and all of you guys are not. Behavioral sciences, humanities, social sciences. Lindsay, most of the words on your slide, I didn't know what they meant. Like the something texts, you said, right? I thought they were actual texts. So as an engineer, it seems like what you guys do is you quantify qualitative stuff to measure it. We only have quantitative stuff. So I think what I did was I really just built a skeleton for who? Not the people in this room at all. And before I go on, anybody who watches Law and Order will recognize this. Everything I'm saying has nothing to do with me or anybody related to me. It is stories I've collected over the years. Unequivocally, nothing to do with me. Are we all clear? Okay. So once upon a time when I was going through a process, I couldn't figure out what was going on, and there was nobody to ask. It's 12 years ago, and I wished anybody that has read What to Expect When You're Expecting. I had like the first edition. When you're pregnant, it's a book that tells you what to expect in the first month and in the second, right? You read it? Right. And even it goes week by week. So they'll say, and next week you'll start feel the baby kicking, and if it doesn't kick, it's okay too. I wanted, and so I created, I think, a what to expect when you're a target. Okay. This is me. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure you guys will come up with a better word. An abstract version of me. I have hazel eyes. And my mother used to put down gray on all my passports. People say I have brown eyes. But they're hazel, obviously not very impressive if they call them gray. But when I cry, they turn green. And I have cried an ocean. And it is only because I kept putting one foot in front of the other that I feel very confident standing here today. I couldn't have done this 2 years in, or 4 years in, or 6 years in. There is a long road in the rearview mirror, and that's why I feel comfortable telling people that might be in this situation what to expect. Okay. I created a model, and it flies in the face of all the phases of mobbing that laymen came up with. It was everything I read, and truth, I had to take some of the stuff and put it into ChatGPT to say, what is it saying here? Everything I've read, and what I knew, because as I was going along, engineers find solutions. And I had a problem with no solution. I thought I was crazy. So these are my phases. Just going to name them. The old normal, shifting normal. You already know what that is. Then there's the moment of truth. When I heard Ken Westhues talk last year, all of this hit me like a brick had fallen on my head. The aftershock after the moment of truth, the diminished presence of the target, and then a new normal if you're lucky enough to get there. this is my model. It's a point of inflection, which is kind of sort of a mathematical term. Okay. But see how I left it, and it's pink. Engineers don't use pink. Okay. Right? I'm wearing pink. Oh my God. So this is the old normal, the regular life you had. How long was it? Mine was 20 years long. You know, felt like Christmas every day in my world. And then there's a part where things start to feel different. Little red flags. And you go, did that just happen? Oh, no, silly. A little more. And then this part of you, excuse my language, that says, what the F? Like, what's going on? I don't understand it. This person was nice to me last week. Then there's the moment of truth, which is the ball game. Before and after the moment in truth is everything. Then there is the aftershock that if anybody has slipped down an icy ski slope with rocks and trees in the way, that's what this reminds me of. Then there's the aftershock where moral injury. I think I have moral injury. Okay, I'm pretty sure I do. The aftershock, then the diminished presence. What I was after to what I was before. And if you're lucky, to get to a new normal. Okay. This wrecked my head. It wasn't until I understood. So the owl is there, or the hawk. The way I understood it is that the hawk is just sitting there minding its own business. It's not even moving. Consider it a statue. And then there's all these bluebirds around it. And the bluebirds are thinking like, oh my God, like the hawk is there. This cannot be good for us. We got to get him out, like now. What are we going to do? And so they do the pecking, and then they do the dive bombing, where they're in the air and they go, pfft. That has to hurt a lot. And then when that doesn't work, they start singing and chirping to get the hawk out of there. The point is, the hawk didn't do anything. It was in the bluebird's head that that person over there represents something that they just don't like. It could be that they're a high achiever, the envy of excellence. It could be like in Australia, the indigenous people that tend to be more vulnerable. But I bet you anything, if you take away this hawk and then the bluebirds are the community, I bet you would see mobbing inside the community, because bluebirds are not all the same. I've never seen a bluebird in my life. But they're not all the same, and within the community, some are different, and then they will be mobbed within the community. For example, LGBTQ communities are considered very vulnerable, but even within, my son is a gay man, coolest guy ever, so even within the LGBTQ community, there are people that are ostracized within there. Okay. I didn't know that. You're all nodding. It's like you gotta, okay. The old normal. What's the old normal? It was the place you went to work, you went up the stairs 2 at a time. If somebody said something to you, it was no big deal. AnnMarie, the toner was out, why didn't you put it back in? And I was like, I'm sorry! Like, really, put it in yourself. You would never think you were in trouble. You're working on your career, you're working on, I don't know, the kids, my husband. You're moving on. The old normal. The old normal is right here. This is so critical, and I'm going to tell you why. The shifting normal. You already know what it is. Little red flags that you say, It's kind of like you're in the mall, and you say hello to someone that passes you, and they don't say anything. You're like, oh my God, I just saw her, and she was so nice, and now, did I do something? Ooh, did I say something to somebody who said something to them? The next time you see that person, you say, Susan, so sorry. Is everything okay? I saw you in the mall and you didn't say anything. She said, what? I didn't even see you. No, fine. So it's the doubt that the stuff that's happening, is it real or is it my imagination? And that doubt is what keeps you safe in the shifting normal phase. You can explain it away. For example, this never happened to me. Somebody in your department will say they are trying to take your tenure away. And the response is, from somebody who's in New York, they can't do that. You can't take my tenure away. Guess what? I was in such denial. Somebody told me what was in the process, and I didn't even believe them. Okay, so that's shifting normal. You're not sure. Okay, what does all this behavior look like? It depends on who you're talking to. It depends on who's the target, and it depends on who's the mobber. I am married to the quietest person on the planet. Period. The stuff that would get under my skin, that would upset me, that would cause moral injury to me, would not bother my husband. Period. He does not care. Perhaps they would treat him differently. Maybe that's how, if they wanted him out. I don't know what they would do to him. Plus, it also depends on the people who are the mobbers, their behavior. I have to tell you, I come from academia. What I would experience in academia would be very, very different than what you would experience in a plant with a lot of union people. So it depends on the personality of the person being mobbed, and it depends on the personality of the mobbers. But in general, none of it's good. You feel like crap. They make you feel bad. So in January, you're a rock star, literally, in writing. And by May, you're persona non grata. And you're like, what happened? No, this is not a true story. Okay. I'm going to, for those, I don't want anybody to be triggered. Let's say you have a partner, and your partner finds somebody else that they like better, but they haven't told you yet. And their behavior is kind of like, I don't know. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You find her a seat to a sushi place. You're like, he doesn't like sushi. I don't know. And it goes on a year. And then one day, you're stopped at a red light, something innocuous, and something comes on the radio. And all of a sudden, it's like a domino. Oh my God, he or she is having an affair. Absolutely. All of it clicks. It's an aha moment. Have any of you ever experienced anything like that? No? No aha moments in your life? I don't believe you. You're worse than my students. Thank you, Tamara, for participating. And there's some joy. There's some relief with oh my God. There's a lot of, I knew I was right. I was right. See, they were all saying, no. I was right. He's having an affair. See, I know. Okay. The problem with the aha moment is, I'm going to go to the next slide. The problem with the aha moment is that here you had doubt and it kept you safe. Here you have certainty, and it's not doubt that hurts, it's the certainty that hurts. But there is one data point, and I put that up. So imagine this. Catherine is the aha moment, is the moment of truth. And then there's Lindsay, then there's me. Can you agree that right before the aha moment, there's your life? You're moving along. And remember I told you you're at a stoplight, and all of a sudden it's boom. Okay? Can you work with me on that? Yeah. Nod. Or, I mean, something. Again, Tamara, thank you for... And then there's me right after the moment of truth. Do you see that? So all of the things that happened before the moment of truth, at the moment of truth, it all makes sense in a moment. So now all of this stuff that you're like, they're trying to take your tenure away. Yep, they're putting a file together. No, they're not. I have tenure. I graduated. You can't do that to me. Yeah. Guess what? So all of this denial, at the moment of truth, all of that denial becomes certain, and you can't go back. It was a pattern of behavior that once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. And so everything that happened before was a blip on the screen. Now you are internalizing. Isn't that a good word, right? Psychotherapy? You are internalizing all of it. And right after you internalize, first time you're kind of happy. You think you're cool? Well, I did. And then there's the aftershock. It is the, oh, there's a slide missing. My fault. The aftershock is like this. The aftershock is being on a ski slope, on a run, you have no business being there, and sliding down on your rear with trees in the way. It is a free fall. It is just too much to take in. And for me, it just blew me back. I didn't know what to do with all this information. I didn't know where to put it. These were my friends. These were my mentors. I graduated from here as an undergrad. I got my master's here. I was the first female to chair a department. It was too much to handle. Okay. But you function. You go to your class with your binders. You put them on you teach class. You leave. But now I was closing the door to my office, which I'd never done before. Functioning doesn't mean injury is gone. It means you are holding it together with the weight of the world on your shoulders. Okay. This is the shell. I was told to behave as though, this didn't happen, but theoretically in a hypothetical world, to behave as though there was duct tape across my mouth and my hands were duct taped to my side. I was told to teach my class and walk to the parking lot, get in my car and go home. When I walked in the hallways, I can remember walking up beside the wall, like my left arm was close to the wall. And I remember saying to myself, can you imagine me talking to myself? It's a very active area of my mind. You're going to breathe the wrong molecule of oxygen, and you're done. That's how I felt. So I became a shell of myself. I was teaching, but nothing else. I had narrowed my whole world. There was nothing that I was doing outside of the bare minimum of my job. Okay. There we are, diminished presence. Then there's the new normal. Like, when does that happen? I want a date and a time. I'm going to mark the calendar. I want to know now. I actually said to a lovely psychologist, I said, listen, just tell me what to do. Just give me a list of stuff to do. I'll do it. He said, it's not like that. You can't just cross stuff off a list. It's like a broken leg. I think I'm in the new normal. What's left is my memory has not come back, and isolation. Joan Friedenberg told me, she was here, that isolation was one of the things that was the last thing to go. Yesterday was my 4th day outside this month. Now, it's not like I'm hovered in the corner, but I do not open the door and step out. There is safety in here. Nobody can touch me in here. You'll be fine. What's the matter with you? I don't care. Make me. So there's still some left over. Last year I could not come. It was too much for me. But I heard Ken, and I was so excited about this model. What will this model do? Someone who's in the beginning, someone who's here with all these red flags. It sounds weird. And how long does it happen over? It's not like a week. It's months to years, right? How long would you say the red flags go on? I said 2 years. It's a bit. What is the new normal? It is the phoenix. In academia, when you lose your tenure during the termination hearing, I said, this is a classic case of academic mobbing. The entire room burst out laughing. Attorneys, administration, that's how little was known about it. So here I am, the reality of a professor. My husband is not well, so he can't work, otherwise I'd be shoving him out the door. We had to sell our house. We did sell our house. And I'm not dead yet. This part, Catherine, you're absolutely right. It's so bad. Well, imagine you're on a ski slope, about to hit into a tree, and you go like this, God, help me now, I don't want to hit the tree. It is so bad that sometimes the only way out is, okay, I'm just not waking up anymore. So here I am, trying to rebuild me. I am 65 years old. How do you start? But I am going to, for all of those out there who've lost their job and all the friends that came with it and the support system that came with the university, how do you start? 1 foot at a time, just like this. Came here today. I'm going to give another talk, so that will be 2. My entire family texted me this morning to say good luck. We think you're a great speaker. I've been talking my whole life. Can you imagine me? I've been talking my whole life, but today they all knew what a big deal this was for me. So that's where I am. It took me 12 years. I'm saying to those in the community that might be watching, it might not take 12 years for you. It might be much shorter. I have no idea. But this is how it's going to go. You're going to have a normal life. Christmas every day, that's how I described it. Then stuff for no reason, like out of the blue, they're gonna start saying, doing weird stuff. Like you go into the department and the meeting started an hour early. I was like, I came in the rain on the Bronx River Parkway. What's the matter with you? Like little itty bitty things. And then one day, for no reason, there's like a, oh my God moment. I was right. Oh my God. And you kind of have to sit down to process it. But you think to yourself, I was right, I'm cool, I'm smart, see, I told you. But right after that moment of understanding it, you have the reality of, my husband is cheating on me. That hurts. We've been married for 36 years, there's no problems there. Should you ever meet him, everything's great. And then there's the reality of what you just realized. How long does this take? Somewhere in here, I was made to leave, but some people leave to save themselves because staying at the university for longer, there's no opportunity for repair. It's all about survival. Your energy used to go towards this great career and publishing. Look at AnnMarie Flynn. Oh my God, she's awesome. 2, how can I hide? And how can I stay safe? This never happened. At a large meeting, there were 20 people around a table, and in front of 20 people, I was disciplined for saying the room that we raise money for that has a name on it, nobody wants to, it's a bad room, it has no air conditioner. And you want to get another room just like that? Okay, well, that wasn't the thing to do in front of the fundraisers. When I left the room, I went up to my office, kept the lights off, and I went into the corner, this corner. The door is there, I was in that corner, and I lay on the floor, rolled up in a ball. I could not move. I had to call my husband and say, you have to come and get me. But he had to bring someone else with him, so the two of them drove in the car from Long Island up to the Bronx. My husband came up and got me. He brought me home in that car. And then someone drove the other car home. That happened. And like I said, it wasn't long before that I was the president of the school called me a rock star. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and good luck to those out there that are where we all were.